What's up, guys? James, it is Thursday. I want to do some quick updates. I got some questions coming in, and some people are asking the same kind of questions. So I wanna hit a few. I hope your week's going good. We'll see you next week. Um, so first one here, my company is not responding. So if you have kind of committed to a company and you're trying to connect with them and nothing's happening, you got two options there. Number one, try harder. Number two, pivot. Um, Number one, when I say try harder, I don't mean necessarily the same person, but try to talk to different types of people. Don't be afraid to get in your car and pull in to say, I'd love to talk to an HR person, tell them your story. One person was thinking about maybe a school district. I was like, great, go to a school district. Probably got three or four within a 20-minute drive. You can just go in, get a phone number, and connect with them. Um, you can also pivot if you need to and switch to a different company. Maybe your initial company you didn't really know about, but they sounded cool, and now you're like, cripes, I can't get any information. Switch to something a little bit smaller, a little bit more approachable would be fine. Let me know if you want to do that, just so I have an idea of what's happening. Number two, format of the HR perspective assignments. One of the students in class, I really liked her format, and so I sent that out in an announcement. Hopefully everybody got that. If you did not get that, please let me know. It's very linear, kind of bullet pointed, organized, stuff like that. Most of the questions are coming in on the HR audit. Um, so let me talk about a few things on the audit. Most importantly, in this announcement, I've attached some feedback that I made to one of the functional areas that a person had put together. Basically, she wrote it up, did an excellent job, a lot of work went into it, and fired it over and said, let me know what you think. And so I'm going through making these comments and thinking maybe everybody would benefit from this. She was kind enough to allow me to send it out. So you have it here as an attachment. If you can't find it, please let me know, because I think it'll give you a really good idea of kind of my lens as I go through it and I'm reviewing them. And again, just remember, first draft. So obviously do your best. It'd be great not to have to do it again, or to do much revision to it. But it is a first draft. It's just 25 points. So check out that feedback that I made for her. She did a great job. But I was trying to be really, really critical to say, was there anything here that could be better? Um, the process comparisons. So she sent me the proposal on talent acquisition. Talent acquisition is a bit more technical than something like strategic planning or something like that. And so there's actually a process, right? There's a starting point, which we might argue is a job analysis, but it's probably kind of a workforce analysis, or your internal customer manager says, hey, I need to hire, and they have approval to do so. So there's a starting point and there's an end point where the person is onboarded and there. What's really helpful, and I think a very useful practice, is to document the process. In this particular presentation, or the writing that came in, it said it's it's a long process, and a lot of people have kind of say in the process of hiring. Great, document it. Document it so we can see all those steps. You can do two things with that. Number one, you can lean it out, meaning here's the process and here's 5 things that don't need to be in there. So you can't really do that until you actually document the process. The second one is you'll have basically two, a before and after, or what I call kind of a current reality. Here's how it's done today, and then an optimized future. Here's how it should be done if we were following all kind of recommendations on best practices. So those pictures where you can do graphs and stuff like that, extremely helpful, because they show here's how it is, here's how it should be, and then you justify why it should be that way. Last thing on the HR audit is interviewing organizations. So we got cut off a little early on Monday, but there was a quick conversation about what types of questions to ask, and I kind of did an example a little bit with Regan on our Zoom call. But so that works. I think it's good. You should do that. One of the things you're really going to want to get on each one of these areas is to basically answer the question, what are you doing now? What are you doing now for strategic planning? What are you doing now for compensation? What are you doing now for fill in the blank, talent acquisition, whatever it is? You have to get the baseline of what they're doing now. That's the most important thing you'll get from the company, because based on your reading and your research, you'll be able to identify here's the best way to do stuff. You have to compare that against something to make recommendations. So what they're doing right now in each one of those functional areas, your research says this is the best way to do it, and then you can say, here are my recommendations, here's how I'd implement it, stuff like that. So hopefully that's helpful. I think the attached document here will be extremely helpful. Thank you to her for being willing to share. And yeah, let me know as you have questions. I'm really looking forward to these things coming in on Friday.